So in past videos, I've asserted that poor vision is caused by mental strain, and this probably sounds like a crazy idea if you have the common understanding of your vision being caused by the shape of your eyeballs. Um, for me, this is not a theory. This is something I've done myself. I've regained 20/20 vision by releasing mental tension, mental strain, and I learned to do this from a man named Paul Anderson, who taught natural vision recovery based on his understanding of the Bates method. And this is a very unique understanding of the Bates method. Many people who study Bates or read Bates believe that when he gives his eye exercises, he's telling people about a physical exercise to release physical strain. And Paul had read Bates very deeply and understood Bates to be saying that primarily what was being released was mental strain. So that the shape of our eyeballs or the strain that we can feel in our eyes is a secondary effect of mental strain, not the primary cause of poor vision. And that understanding is increasingly being made credible by the study of neuroplasticity that shows that many problems in the body are a problem of processing, malprocessing in the brain, not a primary problem in the body itself. So, what is mental strain? Well, mental strain would be worry. It would be thinking too much. It would be self-doubt, negativity, rumination, resentment. The kinds of things that people go over and over and over in their minds all day. Repetitive songs that you can't get out of your head. Um, and so you can see the advantages of natural vision recovery, if what I'm saying is true, that you can release all these habitual chronic states of strain, the negativity, and it opens up creativity and possibility in life and flow. You can't get that from LASIK surgery, as far as I know, and you can't get that from glasses. So, natural vision recovery takes longer. It's a process, it's a practice, but the potential rewards are huge. Overthinking, thinking too much, it's a path to survival for many people. It's really understandable that we do this. It's our whole cultural conditioning. We learn to do that as a culture, and there's statistics that show that the more education you have, the more likely it is that you wear glasses. In other words, your vision degrades the more education you have, and probably the more thinking you do. And it's not because thinking is bad or because higher education is bad. It's just because this culture has become so out of balance in the balance between our minds and our bodies. There's a huge amount of information that's stored in our bodies. It's just dying to be known and to be felt. But we, in this culture, we use our minds to cut off our feelings and cut off information from our body. There are reasons for that, and I'll talk about that in another video about the relationship between trauma and poor vision. But we learn to tune out the information that's in our body, and this becomes a path to survival when we're young, or a path to self-esteem. We may get our esteem from other people who like how clever we are, how funny, how witty, how smart, whatever. So we use our mind to do things, to give us information that our body can give us, and that leads to strain. So what would a healthy mental state be? Well, like I talked about, it's this open, receptive state, and it's open to life. It's very childlike. It's very innocent. It's not guarded. It's not worrying about the next moment. It's very present time. It's what all the spiritual traditions talk about when they talk about living in the present. Although the spiritual traditions, may provide a piece of the puzzle to get there, but as I'll talk about in later videos, not this core piece that Bates provided. I believe he provided a piece that's not available elsewhere. So my metaphor is for a mental state that's receptive to sharp 20/20 vision, is a mind that's open and receptive, relaxed, and it's like an antenna. It's a receiver of information. It's receiving incoming information. It's not busy problem solving. It's just a receptor. The body is providing all the information that you need. The body is providing intuitions, feelings about the environment, whether the environment's safe, whether it's not safe, and what needs to be done in that, to take care of oneself and the environment. But the mind is a receiver, and this understanding is borne out by one of the greatest minds of our time, Albert Einstein, and he says in his writings that his great insights came not from a state of thinking hard about how to solve the physics problems that he was working on. They came when he wasn't thinking at all, when his mind was in that open, receptive state. They came when he was playing the violin or when he was taking a walk. That's how answers come. Otherwise, we're just going through this database of old conditioning, trying to match whatever the present situation is to something that happened in the past, or something that we were told in the past by someone else that we don't even know is true for ourselves. That's what most problem solving is just the mind straining to come up with some answer from past experience. But present time experience is always new. We're always encountering something that's never ever happened before, and to meet it accurately, our response needs to be fresh. It needs to be new. It needs to be something that's never ever happened before. And we get that response from our body. From our body gives us information, and our mind is that receptive antenna that receives the information, and it also receives the creative and the intuitive insights that come from who knows where, from the mystery. Well, there's more that I could say about that, but I think that's a good stopping point for this video, and I'll talk more in future videos about just the next steps, how to release mental strain to regain 20/20 eyesight. And it's a process. It's not like going and getting glasses and having 20/20 like that, although 20/20 can happen like that. And if you start on this path, if your experience is like mine, you'll have periods where your vision goes right from as bad as it is now to 20/20, just like that, and then it'll go back again. And that happens. For me, it's very much correlated with mental strain and mental release.